All right, what's going on, y'all? It's your guy CJ100,
Your guy Tez the Fi.
and we are
The 5100 Podcast.
Y'all do me a favor, right fast. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can get all of our content as soon as it drops. With that being said, let's get back to the video. You did. Back at you with another reaction video, and we're going to talk about a new law that is maybe going to get passed in the state of Tennessee.
Making its way through the Rams.
It's making its way through the Rams, and this is one that will be a big victory for men, but specifically black men in general. And this is a case of, what is it, paternity fraud? Where basically unmarried men are put in a situation where they sign a birth certificate and it's not their child.
Right.
And then they get on the hook for child support.
Right.
People think it's so, people think it's such a rare thing, but it's not. It happens a lot. That's where the term mama's baby, daddy's maybe came from.
Thanks.
So we're going to go ahead and read some of this article, and then we're going to cue up some of the video for you. So let's go ahead and do that. Memphis, Tennessee. A bill that will prevent unmarried men from claiming a child that isn't biologically their own is making its way through the Tennessee legislature. You basically said that, making its way through the ranks. You read this already?
Yeah.
You did?
A little bit.
Oh, okay. I ain't know.
Enough to know that it's going through the thing.
Okay. House Bill 2698. Y'all remember that number? 2698. Passed the Children and Family Affairs Subcommittee Wednesday, but not without a challenge from the Tennessee Department of Human Services, aka Child Support Services.
I wonder why they was trying to block it.
Why would you bite that back?
Come on, man.
Let's just go ahead and play the video. I think that's just enough of what it's about, and the video gonna kind of cover it.
That would prevent unmarried men from claiming a child that isn't biologically their own is making its way through the Tennessee legislature. Action News 5's Bria Bolden spoke with the local lawmaker behind this bill to find out why he believes the law is needed. Bria?
Well, Joe, House Bill 2698 passed through the Children and Family Affairs Subcommittee today now, but it didn't come without a challenge from the Tennessee Department of Human Services. Memphis Representative Antonio Parkinson is sponsoring the House version of this bill, and he told me today he has spoken with constituents who said they have had to foot the bill for child support even after finding out a child they originally thought was theirs was not.
He presented the magistrate with the DNA findings. The magistrate said, somebody got to take care of him, referring to the child, and it's going to be you, and gavelled him out.
Memphis Representative Antonio Parkinson is sponsoring House Bill 2698 that would require DNA evidence proving paternity before a man signs a birth certificate for a child that may not be biologically his.
The state has been turning a blind eye to this by allowing people to sign blindly without any proof of DNA association to this child, which is allowing people to be guilty, or in some cases, of paternity fraud, which is a crime.
However, the Tennessee Department of Human Services says if made into law, their department could be at risk of losing about $52 million in federally matched dollars.
We both heard and were thinking the same thing.
Go ahead, bro.
It's about money. We have said this numerous times, bro. It's about the money. That didn't mention nothing about the wellness of the kid. That didn't mention nothing about, the children being fed or going to the right school systems. We gonna lose $52 million if y'all do this stuff. It's a money game.
Haven't we said that? Haven't so many black fathers said this? But they said we were crazy.
Yeah.
They said we just don't want to take care of our kids. We ducking our responsibility. Here you go from White Zaddy's mouth. He told you. I ain't say that.
Nah.
They said that. Bro, this is just hilarious to me that they're really fighting against this.
Right.
Like, so you mean to tell me you're a state that's gonna get money out of the state
regardless?
There's no way around it.
Right.
Taxes, all type of permits, license plates. Like, you're gonna get money from everywhere.
Right.
But this man that's probably making $30,000 a year, no, you're gonna take care of this kid.
Right. You want his money too.
They told him somebody gotta take care of this kid, and it's gonna be you. AKA, it ain't gonna be me.
Facts.
And that's funny because y'all say y'all care so much about the future.
Right.
And our children. And it's just like, why has nobody brought up the woman? What is she gonna have to pay for doing this? Nobody's brought that up, right?
Never do.
Oh. Well, this is a good segue.
Yes.
First of all, I want to give a big shout out to DrTHasanJohnson.
Yes, sir.
You covered this in my city. We saw this probably around the same time, but you jumped on it. Scholar, salute you because you speak enough for us as black men. The emotional trauma we go through, the mental trauma we go through. We appreciate you, brother. You should have way more subscribers than you do.
Thanks.
We're going to do a weekend about that and speak to these issues. But I want to go to an article that you covered. And that is the 50-50 custody bill. It's one step away from governor's desk. And this is the Charleston Gazette Mail, a Pulitzer Prize winning newspaper. So this is in West Virginia, people. The West Virginia legislature is one vote away from adopting a bill that would require family court judges to equally split physical custody of children at the onset of custody proceedings. The House of Delegates on Friday adopted Senate Bill 463, bringing the bill closer to law than similar measures in recent years have made it. Because the House has made some changes to the bill, members of this Senate will have to vote Saturday on whether to accept those charges before it can advance to Governor Jim Justice for his consideration. The bill, titled the Best Interest of the Child Act, love that name, would require family court judges to give parents 50-50 custody on a temporary basis at the state of child custody proceedings, unless there's clear evidence of abuse or threats to the child's safety.
So, bro, before we get deeper into this one,
Okay.
I got a story about the paternity test being done up front.
Okay.
The first story. So, I had a situation where I was dealing with a young lady, and
I remember this one.
This one close to the chest, and that's why I'm extremely passionate about this one passing.
Okay.
I was dealing with a young lady. We were off and on in a relationship.
Okay.
And during the time she had met another guy, but we were still having sex.
Right.
So we was comfortable with each other.
Still macaroni.
Yeah, still macaroni.
Okay.
You know, we was unprotected because we was comfortable with each other.
Right.
And
Put time in.
Yeah, you know, the pull out game, you are second off, and you know how that goes. But man, I remember one day she called me and she was like, "Hey, you know, I missed my situation. I'm late."
Oh,
like,
you missed that end of sentence. Okay.
I'm like, okay, all right. So she called me back about 2 hours later and was like, "Hey, I'm pregnant." I'm like, "Oh, dang, I'm about to be a daddy."
Okay.
So, you know, as time go on,
what was her reaction?
It was that big, small, smiling at first and turn my head. Damn. It was that right there.
Okay.
But man, I remember about 4 or 5 months go along, and you know, I'm going to doctor visits and stuff because I'm excited.
Right.
Then come to find out it was gonna be a boy. So I'm like, oh man,
you ecstatic.
Oh, son. So bro, I'm happy as a mud, bro.
Okay.
So as time go along, she started acting funny. Less time, I ain't getting invited to the doctor visit no more. And I remember my mama was like, "No, baby, I think you might want to back up a little bit. The sign, the math ain't mathing, as they say."
Mama, no.
Yes, sir. I was at work. I'll never forget this day, bro. I was working at Burger King at the time.
Big money.
Shit. Them Whoppers wasn't paying that much. But my baby about to be born. It's time.
Okay.
Now, I didn't tell y'all that she told me that she was in labor. I found that on Facebook. So you know what I'm saying? I'm on Facebook. I'm like, oh, they done rushed to the hospital. I'm reading the timeline through Facebook. Ain't nobody called me. Ain't nobody text me. I knew all of her family members that was there. All of a sudden, the baby here, y'all. I'm like,
Interesting.
Still no phone call, no text. I'm like, all right, maybe I'm tripping.
Okay.
Couple of hours passed. She doing good. She in recovery. We finna start having Villa to pray for us. I'm like, no phone call, no text to the supposed father. So finally, I get in touch with her cousin. Her cousin like, hey Ted, so and so said, you know, you can't come today. Like, I can't see my child the day he was born. To make a long story short, bro, she had told me that I couldn't come because the other guy was there. Turns out it was the other guy baby the whole time.
So all you had to do, if she was more low down, all you had to do was go sign it and you were on the hook for 18 years.
Facts.
And that's why this bill means.
Facts. And bruh, she would have let it happen. Cause she said from her own mouth, I didn't think dude was gonna be a good father. And to this day, he hasn't been, but you know.
Gotcha, bitch.
That's neither here nor there.
Neither here nor there. So
right.
I just had to give my perspective on that bill because that could have been me, bro. I could have been one of them brothers that signed on for a child that wasn't mine. So
yep. And that's just a sad, unfortunate reality.
Yeah.
So these bills are definitely important. You don't want to be stuck. The pappy. You know what I'm saying? Let me be the daddy.
Right. The child would know who his or her father is. So that's what we want anyway.
But that's not what we want. Forget the courts. Our society doesn't value fatherhood. We keep saying this.
Come on,
these things wouldn't happen. And that's why this next bill, the 50-50 custody bill, is just as important. Because after the father is determined,
yes,
now he has some rights.
Yes.
And it's off the meat rack.
Yes, sir.
We're going to go ahead and put this in place. And if we find you to be unworthy or, you know, a detriment to the child, then you don't get it.
Yep.
But the default setting is 50-50 custody.
Off the meat.
Men have been saying that forever.
Yes,
and
sir.
If a woman has a problem with this, which I know they will, I would like to know why.
Right.
Even though we know why.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a benefit. So let's go ahead and finish some more of this article. We're going to wrap it up. People speaking in support of the bill said it will create an environment for healthy outcomes for children by encouraging involvement from both parents. I agree. What this bill does is take a step in the direction of having both parents involved in the child's life to the maximum extent possible, said Delegate Geoffroster Putnam. Okay. He must be with Putnam. Yeah, okay. That's all it's doing is making sure these kids have the best possible chance to succeed. People who spoke against the bill said it was a bad policy that puts the feelings of parents who most often are not getting along above the well-being of children and sets up children to be collateral damage and disagreements. That's happening now.
How does that set that up?
That's the point is it's happening now without it. Because it's got one parent that's got a whole lot of damn power and her feelings are paramount to everyone else. So what's the difference? If you want to make the argument, which is foolish,
it is.
But if you want to make that argument, what is happening now?
Right.
Like, are you serious?
All you doing is spinning the same wheel with a different car. Like, that's it. You saying the same thing that we saying right now. That's a horrible argument for against the bill.
I think it's misnamed, said Delegate Barbara. Of course it's a woman. I don't even know. I ain't even gonna try.
Ain't gonna try that one.
It is not in the best interest of the child. It's in best interest of the two parents who are fighting each other. You make no sense, woman.
None.
They just don't like the fact that men are gonna get some work.
Right.
Get some positivity towards being a father.
Control. We know how this, bro. We know how this works. The women want to be in control of these situations, bro. And now the government, white zaddy, is like, I don't know, man. Maybe we might need to start balancing this thing out some. You know what I'm saying? Like, even they argument don't make sense. It just show you it's about money. It's about control.
And a really quick example, then we're gonna wrap it, man. But I've gone through so much being the non-custodial parent, where they have so many ways to finesse, and we could take it off the legality, right? The mentality.
Yes, sir.
That's a whole nother thing.
Oh, yes.
To where they got so much going for them. Like a man that's on child support but don't have custody, already get hit with crazy back pay. Then she gets your tax return, and she gets the credit for your child. Look at what I'm saying. What is it gonna do to a person's mentality? They run shit.
Right.
So they got a problem with stopping them from running something. But I digress. But any more on this, my boy?
Nah, man. I think honestly, what we starting to see, and what I believe a lot of men been wanting to see,
Facts.
is a small shift of power. All we want is little victories, man.
Facts.
We say this all the time. Celebrate the small one. And brothers, if this come to pass, we need to celebrate the small victories.
Facts.
So,
and I want to say this one more thing. Y'all go check out DrTHasanJohnson.
Yes, sir.
He has something called the Honest Report. It's a daily black masculinist news. Masculinist. You feel me?
right.
And they're fighting for things like this. They're getting behind these. They're doing the data, research, all these things for fathers. And I'm in support of that. My boy in support of
Yes,
that.
sir.
So y'all make sure if y'all really want this change to happen, man, get behind it, because this bill got proposed by black men.
Yes, sir.
So this has to keep going. So on that note, man, we're gonna wrap it up. So for your guy CJ100,
Your guy Tez the Fire.
we are
The 5100 Podcast.
You understand me?